Hey there, I'm Sean Power here at the Hilson Studio. Today we're here to check out some new vintage-styled compressors from Whoa Audio. Let's get into it. The Wa76-A and A2 accurately reproduce single and dual channel options of the fastest and most powerful studio compressor of all time, the original 1176 Blue Stripe FET compressor, known for its extra grabby attack, powerful dynamic control, and vintage analog grit. Wa76-A has modern controls that greatly expand the compressor's already legendary versatility and utility. The wet-dry knob delivers parallel compression for blending in the exact amount of dynamics control with the dry signal. For bypass modes, you've got options. Set the attack to off and you get both input and output stage coloration and grit without any compression. Roll the wet-dry to 100% dry to hit the output stage only, or use the bypass switch for true bypass operation to hear your original signal uncolored. The selectable input impedance switch helps work with modern recording interface outputs as well as other analog gear. The variable high-pass filter cuts low-end frequencies in the sidechain path only, letting you shape the sound the detector hears, all while leaving your original audio signal untouched. The single-channel Wa76-A has added external sidechain flexibility. There's an insert so you can use an outboard EQ to shape the signal going to the compression detector, and you can just use the input for keying with an external signal. It also supports stereo linking, allowing you to daisy chain up to 10 of the same compressor. The Wa76-A2 is a dual-channel model with multiple stereo operating modes that transform the compressor from stereo unit to dual mono unit to lead-follow linked unit all in one switch. In stereo linked mode, both channels' gain settings work independently, but their side chains are linked to ensure even compression on both sides. In this case, the loudest channel settings will dictate both channels' behavior. In lead-follower mode, the left channel sidechain only will dictate how both channels operate. Channel B does not contribute to compression on either side, but rather follows channel A, ensuring both sides compress equally. In dual mono mode, each side operates independently, with all controls operating only on program material being sent to that channel. All of these added features make the Wa76-A and A2 an ideal choice for modern recording workflows that require vintage tone shaping. The Wa76-A uses premium capacitors and resistors and a vintage voice preamp stage. The Wa76-A also uses custom components like the built-to-vintage spec 012 input transformer and a 5002 output transformer from Cinemag to achieve authentic 1176 Blue Stripe compression, known for its gritty preamp stage and unmistakably analog character. Let's hear how it sounds. All the audio samples were recorded through the WA273 with no EQ. For electric guitars, we ran through a Bad Cat Hot Cat 30 into a Marshall 412 and mic'd up two speakers with WA14s. The stereo mode on the Wa76-A2 ensures that both sides compress evenly. The sidechain high-pass filter focuses the compression on the mids and the highs. And of course it sounds even better doubled. This compressor is killer on all kinds of drum applications. We mic the snare drum with some WA19s through the WA273, added some EQ for shaping, and ran it into the Wa76-A with a 4:1 ratio and a slow enough attack to let some transients through. Have a listen. We put a pair of WA84s on overheads and ran it into the Wa76-A2 in stereo mode, with an 8:1 ratio to shave off some of the transients from the drums. You can hear how using the wet-dry blend can help balance out the exact right amount of compression. For drum rooms, we used a pair of WA14s in figure 8 mode, with the compressor in stereo mode and the all buttons in ratio. This gives one of the grittiest sounds you can get from the unit. You'll want to use your ears to dial in the right settings on this one. We ran bass guitar into an Eden head and an Ampeg cab and mic'd it with a Wa77 FET flat with no EQ. The sidechain high-pass filter cuts some of the low frequencies only in the sidechain path. This helps minimize major compression spikes on sources with lots of low end, while leaving the audio path flat. The wet-dry blend also helps get the exact right amount of added grit and energy. We set up a WA14 in cardioid mode to track acoustics. The Wa76-A helps level out some of the dynamics from strumming, as well as add some life to the attack. The sidechain high-pass filter is on to prevent the compressor from reacting to the more boomy frequencies of the guitar. Trumpet, we ran a WA14 into the WA273 with no EQ. You can hear how the Wa76-A adds some grit and really levels out the dynamic playing of the horn, making it sit more evenly with the track. For vocals, we recorded through a WA87R2 and compressed it with the Wa76-A. You'll hear the signal raw, compressed, and finally in the context of a mix.
Haven't heard a thing since we called it off. Pour another drink till the sting wears off. Try to wash it down, still it's coming up. Swear I know better. And I could tell you that I'm fine, but we both know that it's a lie. Maybe you're the drug I never needed.
This compressor has unlimited applications for post-production as well. You can use it on a stereo drum bus to add more life and even out the whole group. Here we balanced a mix of drums and used the Wa76-A2 on the whole group, running out from the DAW into the compressor and bringing the processed sound back in. If you're getting too much compression, you can blend in some of the dry, uncompressed signal. Another great application is keying and ducking, like with a kick and a bass guitar. Patch the bass signal into the compressor input and output like normal, then send some kick drum to the external sidechain input and engage the switch. This makes it so the compressor detector reacts only to the kick drum, ducking the bass under each kick hit according to the attack and release settings. You can still use the sidechain high-pass filter and wet-dry blend to dial in the right amount of ducking. This compressor is great for stereo groups as well. On this doubled acoustic guitar, we use the dual mono mode to allow each side to compress according to its own settings. The high-pass filter in the sidechain also helps reduce some of the compression from the lower frequencies of the guitar. You already know and love the classic 1176 sound. These units add features often only available in plugins and definitely not available in the originals. The wet-dry knob means you can squeeze your signal but still blend that onto your original level. The color and character add analog goodness even when you're in the attack off mode. And the all buttons in ratio provides some really gritty flavors. A built-in sidechain high-pass filter gives you even more control over your compression focus, and the build quality feels excellent. This is a great update to a classic studio tool. Thanks for listening. Head on over to warmaudio.com if you have any questions and for more information.